Hey, New York City Reloader here. It's casting day today, so I'm converting a bunch of wheel weight ingots that Julio made in different sizes into the standard leaf format. I'll show you what they look like, and then what I'll do is I'll show you what I'm doing with my melting pot to go ahead and get them all to be uniform. So, as you can see, I've got my goggles, I've got my welding gloves, and I've got a cowhide vest on, as well as I have one draped across my lap so that I don't get any burns or anything else while I'm pouring the lead. So I'm not actually pouring the lead now, so I'll take this off. And I just want to show you what I'm doing. I got a bunch of lead back from Julio. We had a big wheel weight score. And what I was able to do is get a bunch of lead back from Julio that he cleaned and fluxed and gave me these ingots back, which is great, and a bunch of bars. But they weren't the size that I normally particularly use, like the ones I have over here. So I wanted to use my Lee mold. So I'm melting all these down and I'm putting my Lee mold. And the reason I do that, as you can see along my wall here, they stack really good along the wall here. So these other ones don't stack very well, and that's the problem I'm running into. So what I'm going to do is melt all these down, put them into uniform shapes, check the hardness. I think this stuff is BHN 14, 15, as Julio stated, maybe even 16, but I'll test it once they air cool and they cool down a little bit. And I'm going to convert all this lead. The reason I'm doing that is I got another lead score, a bunch of monotype, and I want to clear off the space on my desk there so I can get it all sorted and start the process. So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing, and I'll show you what the lead looks like and how it's coming out. I'm taking these bars like this, and I'm going ahead and converting them into my standard Lee mold because they fit so good on the shelf and they stack really easy. As you can see, I got a bunch of them set up over there. So I'm stacking up my lead, and to do that properly, I have to go ahead and melt them in my pot, my RCBS, even though somebody painted it orange when I bought it used. And I've got all this lead here and a bunch over there that are all wheel weights. So I'm going to convert these using my Lee mold into those Lee ingots that you see that beautifully stack up. Right now, I'm running low on lead in the pot, so I'm going to add some more ingots. I don't want to add too many ingots so that it overflows. And I'll just put this last one in here, and that should pretty much do it and fill up my pot. You can see it's already pretty close to the top. So I'll wait for that to get back up to around 650, 675. I never cook my lead too hot. I don't want to knock any of the great antimony or tin that's in there, so I don't want it to get too hot and have that problem. So that's where I'm at now. So we'll let that rise up and we'll come back. While we're waiting for that pot to heat back up, I'm going to take one of my lead ingots that's cooled in my Lee, and I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to tap it and she'll release, and I'll put that back up here to stay hot. Put that back up there, and now I'll go to the next one. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one, and it's hard to do with one hand, but I'll put it here like this on top of the other one, and I'll just tap it, and then she released. So I've got some more wheel weight ingots converted from those rounded bars into what looks to be a bunch of Lee bars. So I like them again, so that's why I'm making them. Looks like my pot is back up, the temperature's back up where it needs to be, so I can cast everything properly. What I'm going to do is get the camera pointed down so you can see this process here. And I'm going to go ahead and put my glasses back on, protect my eyes because I only get two. I was only issued two, so I'm going to keep both of them. And let me pull this plug out, lead plug, pop it back in the pot, and let me start pouring. When I pour this, I'm going to let it fill up. I'm going to shake it a little bit so she rolls back and forth a little bit. And then before she spills over, I'm going to slide it over a tiny bit. And then I'm going to roll it again so it becomes one little ingot. And do the same thing to the next one. And over to the last one. Again, they don't have to be a mirror finish. When I first started casting, I used to try to get them to be a mirror finish, and that was kind of futile. Didn't make any sense. Took a whole lot of time. And okay, that's the first molten one that's out now. I'm going to push it over here, and you can see little depressions. It's okay. Again, these are ingots, so I'm going to cast them to bullets, so they don't have to be perfectly flat and perfectly straight. Okay, I'll get my next mold here, and I'll pop that in, and I'll try to go from the side here. Open it up, Again, rock it back and forth. Try to get it before it spills over. Okay, if you do that and you rock it back and forth before she spills over, what you can do is you can sometimes rock it back and forth and get a little bit of a mirror finish, because it starts to harden pretty quick. Again, they don't need to be mirror finish. I just want it to be able to lie flat. Okay, so that one's good too. I'm going to rock it back and forth a little bit. It's more important that the ingot itself comes out as one piece. I don't want to have 4 different pieces, and that's why I'm doing that. So these two are going to cool, and in a minute I'll take them out and I will show you when they're ready to take out and put them back on the pile. So I added some more lead to the pot, because after I poured in those two, it went down pretty much. So I added some more lead to it, and I want to make sure that I don't put too much lead in it to cool it too much down. So I put like 3 ingots in there. I didn't put like fill the whole pot. So I can pour down and probably get about 6 different ingots out of that particular pot. Very important when you're making these things that you let these things cool down. And I'll show you in a minute when they're ready to be taken out of the mold itself, when they're cool enough to be able to do that. Again, you don't want to do it before, because then they'll break apart and they'll spill hot melted lead all over your bench. That's not a good thing. I wanted to show you that the lead itself is fairly cooled. I can see that it's gone crystalline and solidified again. I'm not going to flip it over hard, but what I am going to do is put it on top of the other ingot like this, and I'm just going to tap it. So I'm right on top, and it should release. There you go. Went ahead and released it. It's hot. I think I got these gloves on. And I'm going to go ahead and return the ingot mold back to the top to keep it hot so that it pours real good and real nice. And I'm going to go to the next one, and I'm going to repeat the process. Sorry about the helmet cam footage here. But I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to take it and pour it. Sometimes just by flipping it over, sometimes it will do that. I'm going to just tap it. And there you go. She's released. So I converted all those so far into these Lee mold. If you get a chance, if you don't use a Lee mold, it's a good option. From this point on, I'm going to finish all these because I don't want you to have to see me casting all of them, but I do want you to see the conversion process of taking them from different shapes and different sizes to make them somewhat usable for yourself and for your reloading purposes. Again, they don't have to be perfect. They have to be perfect when you make bullets. That's when you're pouring them and you want them to be perfect. With the ingots, not so much. As long as they lay flat, as long as they stack up, for me, that's good enough. This lead has already been cleaned and fluxed by my buddy Julio, Ocean 374, I think it is. And it's pretty clean stuff. So this is the last batch of it. And in a minute, I'll finish the last batch and I'll come back and show you what the progress is. Okay, now here we see the completed pile of all those ingots that were converted from different sizes and shapes all to the Lee mold. So that's quite a stack there. So all in all, that's my wheel weight score all processed and converted into Lee ingots. Very cool. As always, guys, thanks for stopping by and watching my videos. I appreciate it. I also love the amazing comments that you guys give me, so keep them coming. If you get a chance, stop by the reloadersnetwork.com. Check out where all the shooters and casters and reloaders are hanging out and hanging their hat and holding their content and posting their content there. So great place to stop by and visit. Again, if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. If you see it down there, it says lit up subscribe, hit it. If it says unsubscribe, don't hit it. Last but not least, if you like my videos, do me a favor and subscribe. I get lots of viewers, and it's really nice to have people subscribe. Makes me really want to get my numbers up and make sure that I produce videos. So the more you help, I appreciate it. All right, have a good day. We'll talk to you soon, and I'll have some cool videos coming again soon.